What's up, everyone? I'm Stephie Smalls. You can find me on Twitter at Stephie Smalls with 3 L's. And I am joined by Jakob today. We're going to be doing a bar fight.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Fight!
So, Jakob, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, people? Hey, Steph. I'm Jakob, and I'm forced into a pretty tough position today. I have to defend Carson Wentz, who's someone that I've been drafting a lot of these days in my fantasy drafts, especially in dynasty startups, where he's going in like the 10th, 11th round sometimes. And I'm just going to say that's a huge value, and people should be getting in on Carson Wentz. Look, in 2020, the dude sucked. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, he was atrocious. As someone who had Carson Wentz on a few dynasty teams, like, I couldn't bear to watch. That being said, in fantasy, especially in dynasty, we should be taking the long view. And if you include his last 4 seasons, right? You have his terrible season in 2020, great season in 2017, some in the middle, comes to an average finish of quarterback 14. Okay, if he gets a starting job, and he's going to get a starting job, as points per game quarterback 14, that's valuable. That's a 5th round level startup pick if he's that high-end QB2, low-end QB1, and he's only 27 years old. This is a guy who is second in the league in air yards per attempt, second in the league in yards per attempt back in 2017. And now he was faced into positions over the last few years with no receiving help, no offensive line. We've seen the worst of Carson Wentz. It can only go up from here. Stephie, why are you saying no to free value late in drafts?
Wow. Jakob, listen, I want everyone to know that Jakob is in law school and will be a lawyer, so he could tell you anything. And I think that's very sweet. But let's just face the facts here, okay? Carson Wentz is not a good quarterback. So we'll just go right back to the past years, because I feel like this is where the misconception is. He was only a top 10 quarterback one season. There was not multiple seasons of being a top 10 quarterback. He was 14th in 2018, and then 21st in 2016. This year he was like 32nd out of 38 quarterbacks. Come on.
Hey, that's not his fault. He got benched.
Come on. Is it his fault? Because then you get Jalen Hurts, who did have success the second that he came on that team, correct?
Look, Carson Wentz was a fantasy QB1 through the first half of the season. He was a fantasy QB1. Yeah, he was. Through 8 weeks this year, he was a fantasy quarterback 1.
10 weeks straight of under 60% completion rate.
You know what? He wasn't an accurate quarterback this year. I'm not saying he was good in 2020, but we have to take a long view. In 2019, last year, he was a fantasy quarterback 1. He was the QB 12. Fantasy quarterback 1 going in round 11, and he's 27 years old. Like, he was throwing that year to Josh Perkins, Dallas Goedert, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, a bunch of jabronis, and he was still a quarterback 1.
Everyone, you know what happened is somehow when Foles won the Super Bowl and Foles won MVP, everyone got brainwashed into thinking that was Wentz. It was never Wentz. Wentz was never that good. I mean, we're talking about he did not have good, like, there's no
He was the QB2 the Super Bowl year in points per game. QB2.
Listen, he didn't, but see the way he worded it, he didn't go to the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz never
He got hurt. That's not his fault. He tore his ACL. Do I need Super Bowl winning quarterbacks on my fantasy team? Absolutely not. I need fantasy points on my fantasy.
Where do you think he's going that he'll do so great with his 50 fumbles or 50 sacks? And how many fumbles this year? 16?
I didn't know that you played in point per sack leagues. That's a really interesting format. But you're a pioneer, Stephie, so congratulations to you.
It's that his pressure. Whenever he gets pressured, he just acts like a baby.
Well, like, if you're on the Eagles, you get pressured a lot. But there's going to be friendlier confines out there for Carson Wentz where he doesn't have a completely deficient offensive line. Here, the thing with Carson Wentz is everyone watched him play last year. Everyone saw he was horrible. They saw Hurts come in and look better. That's fresh people's mind. Take the name off the player. Okay? Just look at this situation. He's a guy who, over his course of his career, has been high in QB2 consistently on average.
Okay.
He's going in the 10th or 11th round. Someone is going to let this guy start for their team. It might be in Philly. It might be in Indianapolis. It might be someone else. But there's a 100% chance that this guy is going to get another chance to start in the NFL. He's shown too much, and there's too many teams without a franchise quarterback. If you look at who he's going around right now, he's going around Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock.
Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than him.
No, he's not. Teddy Bridgewater has never showed that kind of ceiling. He's never been a QB. He's been maybe a QB2. He's never been the QB2. Here's some other guys he's going around. Jarvis Landry, Brandon Cooks, Kenyon Drake, Zach Moss, Myles Gaskin. Are these guys difference makers?
You know that he's
Absolutely not.
never had a season with 100% completion passer rating? Like
He's never 100% completion percentage? I imagine most people have it.
I feel like a lot of people have. What are you talking about?
Have had 100% completion percentage? That would be pretty incredible.
Now,
Complete every pass?
He's the fifth worst. He has the fifth worst passer rating. This guy's
Like, I don't use passer rating in terms of my stats. I use advanced stats. Here's the thing. 2018-19. Okay, we'll take away both outliers. We'll take away 2020 when he was terrible and 2017 when he was great. 2018-19, out of 41 qualified quarterbacks, he was 18th in expected points added per play, and he was 11th in completion percentage over expected.
How many interceptions did he have this year?
That's 2020. It's fine. He had a bad year. It happens. Andrew Luck had a terrible year in 2015 where he was throwing a ton of picks.
He had his most fumbles.
And he was still above average in expected points added per play.
This guy has a lot of, he messes up. There's no argument.
Wait. You, the person with Daniel Jones in their Twitter banner, is going to comment on fumbles?
You know what's crazy?
That was happening right now? Is this real life?
Jones is literally rated so much higher than him because there's nothing wrong with, we're not bringing Daniel Jones.
Hey, you brought fumbles into this, and you have Daniel freaking Jones up there?
Well, because
Mr. Fumble.
Yeah, but that's the argument. That team actually has problems. The Eagles have no excuse on paper to be bad.
Why? Who's so great? 70 million-year-old Jason Peters protecting the
blind
side?
Why did Jalen Hurts do okay when they?
He wasn't that good. He had like one great game against the Cardinals, and he had a few other games where he was good for fantasy because he ran around a lot. He wasn't that good. He was horrible in the Washington game. He was bad in the Dallas game, and he was okay in the Saints game.
Actually, what Philly needs to do is dump them both. I don't care if I'm Philly, I'm getting rid of both of them. There's really nothing that is going to keep me like wanting either of these two.
This is a case of upside. It doesn't matter what you think of Wentz. If you think Wentz sucks, that's fine.
What upside though? Where?
The upside is simply it's based on what he's always been, which is a high-end QB2 and how that's valued in Superflex.
Yeah,
here's something. Over the last 4 years. Do you
know the only people that fell below him were Trubisky, Locke, Darnold, Mullins, Hurts, and Haskins. That's embarrassing.
Wait, did you say fell below him was Hurts? I thought you just said Hurts was doing so great.
That's fine. But Hurts played how many games and got nothing? He was set into a horrible position.
The same position that Wentz was in.
Okay, that's fine. They still won. They did better with Hurts.
Yeah, they did. And I think the Eagles should go with Jalen Hurts. I think another team should take Carson Wentz and try to tap into that upside. But here's what I want to get to. If you look at the players going in round 9 and round 10, where you can get Carson Wentz, okay? Over the last 4 years, there have been a total of 6 players drafted in round 9 in startup drafts that have wound up in the top 5 rounds the following year. 4 of those were rookies. So if you're in your startup draft and you're in round 9 and your choice is Carson Wentz or someone else, unless you're taking a rookie pick, you should be taking Carson Wentz. He's the only person in that area of the draft who has a realistic opportunity if he just gets a job and performs as he has for the average of his career, where he can be top 5.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Daniel Jones over him now. 100%.
Yeah, but that's fine. He's going in like round 6. That's not even a conversation.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that we're getting along again. But yeah, no, I can agree with that fine, maybe over some other options, but this is the backup quarterback. I'm sorry.
It's not a backup quarterback.
Come on. These fumbles. This is just ridiculous. The numbers are disgusting. He had his. Have you looked at his the completion rate?
No, I don't care about completion percentage, quite frankly.
He can't do anything on the field.
I care about his completion percentage over expectation because he's a quarterback who drives the ball. He's a quarterback who's willing to throw into tight windows. And between 2018, 2019, right, the heart of the sample, not his best year, not his worst year. He was 11th out of 41 quarterbacks in completion percentage over expectation. He was accurate.
Still was, but he's not successful.
He was very successful in 2018, 2019, and 2017. He had one bad year, 2020.
2019, 2018, maybe, but he's still, you know what? He lacks, he just is not, it's just not going to happen. I mean, the guy, the second he gets sacked, he panics, he throws the ball. You know it. He looks like Josh Allen. They're very similar.
Josh Allen. I would love it if he was Josh Allen. That would be great.
Well,
if he was Josh Allen, I'd take him second overall.
Oh, he acts like he doesn't know what a football is.
That's a little harsh. This guy has put up good numbers. He's put up good production.
He won the Super Bowl. He didn't win the Super Bowl.
I don't care about Super Bowls.
He was never in. He had one time that he reached in the top 10. He was 6th in 2018 maybe. Besides for that, he was 14th twice, then 21st, and now he's literally the worst QB1 in this. Like, he's so bad. I'm so upset with you.
I'm upset with you. You're focusing on the here and the now, and you're not taking the long view. This isn't the revisionist history.
Yeah. I don't think he's going anywhere. That's the problem.
That's fine. If he's in Philly, like if he's starting in Philly, I'm okay. Like the only place where Wentz fails based on his market value is if he's not starting. If he's on the field, he's a good pick value-wise. And if you don't like him, then you can flip him.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see where this goes, I guess, because I mean, usually once they start getting very low on that with their offensive grade, I don't know how quickly Mr. Wentz is gonna come up. Especially with the Eagles, they're gonna blow the draft, so he's gonna have no weapons again, and then panic and act like a baby like he normally does.
You know what? As the objective non-NFC East team fan on this conversation, I just want to say to you all, please remain objective, take the long view, and ensure to put Carson Wentz onto your fantasy teams for
you don't
upside.
Need Carson Wentz. That makes 0 sense. You're better luck.
Good line.
There's so many quarterbacks that are never rostered. You could pick up Carr. You could pick up any of these guys. They're much more accurate. They'll bring you way more points. I would rather have Mullins on my team. I'd rather have Dalton on my team before I'm going to drop fucking Carson Wentz.
Let us know in the comments. Nick Mullins, Carson Wentz.
Okay,
Nick Mullins,
Carson Wentz. Okay. Maybe I'm lying a little bit there, but I still am not. I wouldn't touch Carson Wentz with a 10-foot pole. Something. Few quarterbacks. I've never had him on a team. I never would have him on a team. Can't relate.
Well, you know what? We're sometimes value is found in the darkest places, and Carson Wentz is a very dark place.
Yeah. So Jakob will eventually realize, and this will all come to an end, that Carson Wentz is over and his reign has fallen. He's too expensive for being a shit player, and that's it. It's just Carson Wentz. He probably will start, but then his story is just going to go the same. He's going to be the highest paid bench player ever in NFL history.
Hey, wouldn't you like to be that? I'd love to be that.
I mean, if I'm Carson Wentz, why am I going to try to start? I would much rather sit on the bench. Have
you ever seen that movie, The Backup? It just seems great.
No, I haven't. I think of Nick Foles. Like, after he was done, he was like, I don't want to be a starting quarterback. Like, the guy just wants to get paid and go home, man. He's over it. But guys, be sure to check us out on Twitter at @joinourcircle_ and follow us on YouTube, Fantasy Intervention. Jakob, let everyone know where they can find you.
Catch me on Twitter, FF_RTDB. Where can we find you, Stephie?
Stephie Smalls with 3 L's still. I won this debate.
Look, I'd say we can let the people decide, but you have like 7 times the followers than me, so I know where the people will land. But we will revisit this in a year, and we will see where Carson Wentz's ADP is next year, and then we'll know.
The problem.